Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn. And today, well, we've got a mess to clean up. We've got all of this to work on. And then I took a look at some of the comments on our videos, and there were some really good ideas. So we're going to try and implement a couple of those today. And the first thing that I want to implement was that we need to put this power wheel back in. We kind of slowed down our progress without that last time. So we're going to put that back in. I'm even going to put in the food processor, but we're just going to do one of each over here. So we'll speed that up and let them get to work on it. That way, when these are all stopped, we don't have to worry about things not getting made. Now, something I did notice, this right here actually isn't marked for cutting, and we can probably mark those too. We'll grab a stairway, because there should be more logs than logs taken for this stair. So we'll get that in, grab those real quick. And then what I also want to do is, I think we only need one of these down here, so I'm going to replace this with another one of these food places so that we can get some more mangroves in here. We're just going to dump a couple just right there. I think they should be... How far out can they get? Actually, we could go... You know what? We're just going to stop right there, because we've got other things that we need to take a look at. They are working on this down here, and it looks like they've got quite a bit of this in. So let's unpause. Oh, they don't have this in yet, so we do need that. They're working on getting 100 logs for these. We'll get through that. We don't want that being used. There's... Could we have this guy plant a couple more? Probably. Let's get at least a couple more here. We'll do this and this and this. But I want to leave a path here around the edge so that if they want to, they can get in here. How far over do you go? You go to there. Okay, so close. We can go a couple more trees in here, a couple more trees in here. And maybe we'll start a path up and around. I'm not sure what we'll do with this path yet, but maybe eventually we'll need to get back into the hills over here. There we go. That's looking good. We'll let that go by. Everything over here. Oh, this guy's done his job, so we can pause him and then just keep going from there. I also want to make sure that next temperate cycle, we get caught up on getting the water filled. So I'm just going to toss in a couple more of those, and we'll say those are high priority. They can get those in, but once they do, we'll turn them off immediately. Oh, we also need to make sure that there's going to be a beaver in there. There we go. We'll get those. They shouldn't take too long to build. There we go. We can take that one. Look, they got them put up right away. So they've got all of that taken care of, and the next time there's a temperate, we'll have a little bit more water coming in. Hopefully we can get one or two of these filled up. Once they've got this done, which it looks like, yeah, look at that. They've got that there going, but we don't need quite so many beavers pushing that around. There really only needs to be one for the time being until they've got more of that set up. Let's make sure that this here is set at a lower priority, because we need it, but we don't need it quite as bad as we need a couple of the other things. Let's see. You're in there. You're almost done on the planks, so we'll let them work on that for a second. I'm going to do a little bit of moving here. We're going to move you over to here. Of course, we're going to put planks back in there. And once those are all moved... In fact, let's make that high priority too so that they get those in there. We'll put a water dump here so that we can keep our crops alive just a little bit longer, even if we have to use a little bit of water to do it. Although our water looks pretty low, we might go ahead and it's more than likely most of these trees won't die. We'll go ahead and just pick up the water that we can pick up to make sure that we have enough water there and to make sure that we have enough here. That they've got all of that out of there. Let's go ahead, toss in the water dump. That way we keep this area at least a little greener for a little while. Now our hauling post here, I'm going to change it out to basically the lowest setting to the highest setting and make sure we have one beaver just moving stuff around all the time. You aren't going to be able to do anything either, so we just kind of have to keep playing, what is that? The chair game, the musical chairs. There we go. Took me a second. We have to keep doing that with all the beavers that we have. Well, there was 5 beavers. Now we have 6 that don't have jobs. So what we'll do here is we'll actually go back to this and there. In fact, let's make that something like that. There we go. We've got all of that set up. We've got this going. We just need a couple of planks to get the gear shop in there. But maybe when the water comes back, we can utilize this instead of having beavers pushing this around all the time. Speaking of, this wheel just got put in, so we can unpause this and unpause this. But if we pause the other two, that'll still let them get there. And then that'll connect all of this in, and they should be pretty quick there to get most of those. In fact, let's see. Let's grab another one of you. We'll put you there. And let them start chopping down some extra trees with maybe a couple of extra beavers here and there. And we have a first as well. We have our first subscriber to the channel. Our first member, I guess you could say. Glenn here. So welcome to the colony, Glenn. You've got your own little beaver in here. Looks like you get to hang out at the campfires all day. So thank you. And hopefully we'll get to see you grow up to do something awesome. There was another great suggestion that came in about turning one of these areas into a kind of a mini reservoir or a temporary reservoir so that we'd have a little bit more water. And I was looking at it, and we definitely don't need all of the flow around here. So if we take this one and kind of block it off, we can knock out a couple of blocks here and maybe make this into a reservoir. So we're going to do that. Let's grab a couple of levees here, and we're just going to go... do I want to go there? No, let's go here. Just grab a little bit extra. There we go. And we're going to put levees in here, all the way up there. Then we need some platforms. We actually could use the 3 high ones. So let's put in a 3 high here, here, and here for now. We'll go across here and through there. There we go. And then we're going to want to come over, put in some steps to get over this, and some steps to go over here. And then let's see, we can... Let's go with some more. Yeah, let's do this. We'll just go straight from here over this way. There we go. We're definitely going to need... There's that pausing thing. I'm not sure they've got that fixed. So let's see here. We're going to need a way up there to grab some trees. We're going to need a way across. Should be good to go there. And we're going to want to take those out so we can get the paths in there. There we go. Pass there. We're going to have to take out that tree and go. And the bad cycle ends, so we finally get some water back, and we're definitely going to need it. Yeah, we've got a little bit of bad water that gets pushed out, but that always happens. But we are going to unpause all the pumps, go back to 22-hour days so that we can get all of that filled up. There we go. They're still working on this. I don't know that we'll get this in during this temperate, but maybe, just maybe, with a little bit of extra water here, we can do something there. Let's go ahead and pause these and send them more up here so that, well, we actually need the food, don't we? Tell you what, let's get another farm going because we're going to need to invest in some food. Do that. I think we're going to put it maybe right out here. Grab a farm. Flip that around. They can help with the harvesting. Say it's a little bit more important. And we'll say that that is very important. There we go. They've got all of those in there. They're working late into the night. Let's make sure that these are prioritized so that those can get filled up. Supply there. We don't need those prioritized. What do we not need at the moment? Well, we've got plenty of haulers. This one should be obtained. Let's make sure they're obtaining from everything. We're going to set that one as a supply in case it gets any more. Same thing here. Let's do supply just so the main tank over there gets full. We'll not set those for the priority, but hopefully these guys can bring in a little bit more water. Now there's going to be a problem here. Of course, there's going to be this bad water mixture at first, but eventually I think that will evaporate out of there and we won't have to worry about it too much. It'll just be maybe a murky reservoir until we get maybe some better controls in place. I think I'm also going to go ahead and risk getting a couple more beavers now that hopefully we're pulling in a decent amount of water. We've got quite a few places to put it. We can hopefully keep this green the entire time and, you know, just have a little bit of extra food because the beavers could finally use some food security. We've got all of our wheels in, so I'm gonna go ahead and unpause those. We'll see if we can get a little bit more food out of those. There we go. Now the food is starting to roll back in. We've got water being moved around. There's plenty of water still to get. We've got 2.5 days, a little over 2.5 days to still pull in some good water. And we've done about 500 extra in the last couple of days. So we ought to be okay. We still have this that needs made for those times that this is not spinning, which that should happen during the drought, but we still have our backup, so we can still keep going now. The drought is a 9-day one, which is actually fairly light, all things considered, and I've got all the pumps turned off. We did end up with about 900 water, so we'll see if that will make it through. However, our wheels did stop, so we've got a couple that we're going to need to send out and about. Let's get people in there if we can. We'll actually probably need more power. Let's do 3 of those. Let's do that. There we go. We got people in all of these. And we still have a couple of haulers. All right. That is looking good. We don't need this guy. So, we've actually got industry. Our dam hopefully gets up during this drought. In fact, they've got more to do over here. If they could connect this... they got that in there. Okay, good. Let's make sure that this tree gets removed, but in the same token, let's make sure that... Oh, they're not set for cut. So, we'll make sure all the stuff along the top can be cut down. Even though it's only about a log a piece, we'll figure out how to get up there eventually. There we go. Should work out. They have that in there, so let's get somebody over here to cut those logs down, and then we should be done with this area. There we go. We've got part of it done. Well, if they get a good portion of this done during a drought, we won't have to worry too much about bad water collecting in here. There might be a little bit since we're still using the floodgate method, but, you know, a little bit won't hurt the beavers that much. Maybe just add a little flavor to the water. Well, we made it through that drought, so we can turn back on all our pumps, get the water filled back up. There we go. We've even got some extra room that finally got put in there. This they're working towards. Hopefully the power comes back on these. This might end up with a little bit of bad water from over here, but this reservoir is almost complete. Now, to get from the reservoir all the water that we have, though, I want to do 2 things. One, we'll have to finish this, but I also want to put in a pumping station over here. In fact, we'll probably just move all the pumps over to here, just because that should make it just a bit easier to get things. We'll want to make sure that they can get all the way down to the bottom. So let's get those in there. And then we're going to have to do that. And then one there. Now, how many pumps will that get us? We're still working. Yep, we can be working 22 hours. That's fine. That's not going to hurt us at all. I don't actually... Unless... Do I want to switch that? You know what? No, I'm just going to save the resources and do that. So there's 3, but we have 3... Basically 5, so I need a couple more. Let's go with this, and we'll do... There's 3s. Yep, 3s here. Okay. Well, that's not what I was expecting, but okay. We'll do that. And 1 more of these, 2 more of these. That should be enough for now until all of that is filled up. They've got all of those in there, and then we're going to have to destroy this one right here. Well, these 2, I guess, and then I'm going to put out a floodgate just so this area can have its own kind of water supply while we wait for things. We're pretty close to getting this dam done, so I'm going to demolish this. I'm going to say that's high priority. We'll put the floodgate in here, and if that gets done, we'll take this out, and, well, we'll take that out after the floodgate's in anyway. It's getting pretty close, and we'll see how much water we can save in here. You never know. We might be able to at least utilize some of this for this next drought. Would you look at that? We got it in. We only have just a little over a half day left, but we'll see how much water that will let us fill up. And then we can work on actually getting all of this stuff in kind of at our own rate, because this is going to be off anyway. And this is more or less just extra water. So whatever we get here is just more or less a bonus for us. Well, we filled up about half of it, while half of it is some pretty murky looking water. That at least gives us the option if we get this taken care of, which we can here. Why is this guy just sitting here? Okay. I guess he was just hanging out. Okay. If we get these done, then we can actually just sit here and pump the entire, looks like 9-day drought. Because if we run out of water here, it doesn't matter that much. It doesn't affect up here at all. So I think we've at least got part of that taken care of. And as these get built, I can take out some of these. So we'll actually take those 2 out of there. And then we will go through and take a look. They've got all of this. We're out of power over here again, though. So we don't have all of our storage in yet. So that's going to be a big thing. We're going to have to find a better storage solution. There was a suggestion to get maybe the bigger ones for storage, which we definitely will do. It just takes metal blocks usually to get the medium and the bigger ones, which, as you can see, we don't have the factories for that yet. We've got a decent amount of science, though. We could certainly buy them. Let's take a look. We've got 300. Yep, let's put you in here. We'll get a second one for now. And this looks good. Let's go ahead, come across here. And then here, let's do... Oh, we'll do some storage over here. Maybe the medium ones. That'll fit really nicely into here. And then grab a couple of these, and we'll do another one there. But actually, let's turn you around back to this way so we don't need that path. And there we go. When they get to building this stuff, we can finally get some metal in here. They've got 2 more of the deep water pumps in, so I'm going to go ahead and delete these 2 and hope that we don't have to use them anytime soon. I'm hoping once the water comes around and fills all this up, then we will not have a need for most of these pumps. Also, I thought I put in a storage here that they can move. Let's go storage. Let's go... where's the tanks? There it is, tanks. One labeled as tanks, so that would be your tanks. Let's get one there for you. And can I put one here? No, I'd have to put a thing there, which that's not terrible. We could probably do that. Let's get you in there. Let's get you in there. And there we go. We'll set both of those to supply and water. That way they can just come out of the little pumps, put them in there, and our haulers can take them away over to the main area. Speaking of the main area, though, we might need to clean this up in a bit. We'll keep an eye out on our population. I have a feeling that these barracks might not have the amount of people storage that we need for them. Well, that drought has ended, and we actually ended with more water than we started with. So, as you can see, production history there is going up. So, looks good. We're going to actually just take these. There we go. That can all go. I'm actually going to move this up so that those get all the water they need. Everything is filled there. There we go. And then I can actually move this back down and just fill this completely full. It's going to be a little murky down at this end, but as the droughts and everything comes and goes, it'll clear up. I think we'll be okay there. So that's meaning we have plenty, just plenty of stuff, plenty of water. That's the word I'm thinking of. Plenty of water to get us through some of these droughts yet. And now we can start turning on this stuff again, getting some beavers in here. But you know what? We're still low. We've got now the water. We've got food. So let's go ahead and get another one of those in there. And then I want to also, let's go ahead and move this out of the way. We'll redo this area just a little bit. Hopefully all of these get in before too long. We have one hauler that's been just trying his best to get everything where it needs to go, but it's tough. I get that completely. Now, once this fills up, it will start going back down this way, and we'll get a little bit more power there. We don't have a ton of power stored up, but I have a feeling once we get more in here, we'll be doing just a little bit better here and there. Just in case, for the moment, we're going to go ahead and toss in a fluid dump right here. Now that we've taken out the pumps, hopefully, just hopefully, we can keep all of this wet and good to go, because hopefully we can pull enough water out of here. There's a decent amount in there, and we've got a decent amount stored up. So we'll close this off once the drought hits so that it doesn't get pumped from, and hopefully we'll keep all of this wet and get more trees so that we can build more stuff, and we can have our little mangrove roots. I knew it would happen eventually, but we've got beavers outside, so we're going to make this the biggest one so that we can move this water over, and then we've got 800 science. So let's unlock a large row house here, and we're just going to toss a couple of these in, and once this moves out of here, we'll redo this area with some large row houses as well. Maybe. We might not need to. We'll see how that goes, but at least that gives the beavers a place to stay. And now our downtown actually has some larger buildings in it. Oops, I forgot to shut the gate, so these pumps actually pumped that area dry. So it's a good thing I put in this fluid dump for my own mistakes so that it can refill this channel and we don't have to worry about the trees not having any water anymore. I thought I had it facing the right direction, but looks like I gotta remake the whole thing because I wasn't paying any attention when I put it in there. So we'll just set that back to the highest priority. Let's make sure these are high priority. There we go. So those get picked up. And we'll try it again. We're still working on our industrial section here. We've moved back to the manual labor one for the moment, but they're getting all of that in. And everything else seems to be going really well. We've got our supplies up, and we've got some extra water. Things are much, much more stable thanks to everyone's suggestions. So thank you for all of that. But normally we would stop here, but you know what? this time we're gonna get this whole industrial section in. So we'll be right back in a second and we'll see what that looks like. There we go. The entire, well, not the entire area, but at least our metal can now be made into blocks. We've got people ready to go over here. Next time, I think we probably will have to address the issue of maybe getting some more power stored up here, but hopefully we'll have a couple of extra beavers to help deal with that here and there. We've got plenty of water, and we've just made pretty good progress all around, and it's thanks to everybody putting in their suggestions. So keep them coming. I always read them. I don't always go through with them, but I always read them. So thank you very much, and thank you to our first channel member. But we're going to call it here today, so just want to say thank you very much for stopping by. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Bye!